Good morning everyone, welcome to this week's PE task, and it's going to be a video from my house, and hopefully by the end of this we'll improve our health by doing some fitness together. Before I move on to the task itself, I do just want to say that I hope everyone is keeping well, all your families are staying healthy as well, and that you're all looking after yourselves, and I wish you all the best. Regarding any PE tasks, please just contact by emailing or commenting on Padlet if you've got any questions, or if you're stuck on anything, or if you're simply struggling to get things done. We totally understand that in these uncertain circumstances, things will be a little bit different. Now, with that aside, I just want to move us on to what we're looking at doing today. The plan itself is that we're going to do a circuit. I'm going to exercise here, and I'm going to try and get some good scores, and hopefully you can try and beat my scores when you do the exercises yourself. The things you're going to need are either a pen and paper, or you can use the document that I've got on Show My Homework, where there are a few questions as well as the document that you can use to write in your results. Now, if you don't have a printer, like myself, at home, then what you can do is simply just copy out and write in the key bits of information. So that will be the time we're going to do today, which means we're going to work for 60 seconds. We're going to rest in between each exercise for 30 seconds. We're also, before we start, going to get our resting heart rate. We'll do our working heart rate at the end of circuit number 1, and we've got the 6 exercises that we're going to do just here. If you can't see that because of my poor positioning, then I will have it all written on Show My Homework, ready for you to print out or copy. Now, just down here, we've got a timer that I'm going to use. It's partly visible, but if you can't see it, then please feel free to get your own stopwatches and time yourself, or just listen out for me, because I'll be commenting throughout each exercise and each station, so you kind of know how long you've got left. In between, we'll have a 30-second rest before we complete the full circuit itself. I'm going to talk you through each exercise as we do them, and just before we start, if you would like to pause the video now, you can go away and make sure that you do your own warm-up and your own stretches. I know that you've all been taught how to do that yourselves, and you all know how to do that yourselves. So please feel free to pause it now and go away and do that. I've already done mine and I'm prepared and ready to go. Question for you, first of all, and that'll be on the document, is what do you think will happen to your heart rate, comparing it at the start, before you've done any exercise, to the end when you've completed the circuit? Could I ask you to fill in that question and have a think about what you expect to happen to your heart? And the extension on that is, can you tell me why you think that change may have happened? So that's question 1, and that's on the document. Feel free to pause the video now to complete that question if you like. Great stuff. Okay, so first thing we're going to do on the sheet here, we're going to take our resting heart rate. So I'd like to find your pulse, and if you can't find it, then feel free to pause the video and just have a little find of the pulse. You might even put your fingers just by your wrist. You may put your fingers just underneath your chin in the neck, or you may actually want to put your hand simply where your heart area is and try and find that heart rate. I'm going to do mine. I'm going to set us on the first timer for 1 minute, and that's going to start from 3, 2, 1, and start counting. Last 15 seconds. And that's time. Okay. You could just write that down, what your heart rate was. Mine's a little bit higher than I'd hope. Maybe the nerves, or maybe I haven't done enough fitness. When you've written that in, we're going to get ourselves in position for the first exercise. The first exercise is going to be star jumps for the standard, or you can do extended star jumps. The two options are normal star jumps, as we know, or the extended ones. We're going to go down low and up, low and up. And we're going to start that when I get the timer going. So, exercise number 1, starting in, and remember, sorry, to keep account of how many you've done to try and get the highest score you possibly can. Starting in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Forty seconds to go. Keep it going. Nearly there. And there we go. So, just a little pause. We'll get our timer for our rest. Write down your score. And while we're doing that, get yourself ready for the next exercise. I've got the timer going for our rest. The next exercise you can do is sit-ups or crunches. Normal standard sit-ups, there. Or if you want to go for the extension, then put your legs crossed, bring them in the air, bring them together, keep your legs in the air. And we're going to start in the next 5 seconds. 4, 3, 1, and let's go. We're nearly halfway there, and I've kind of forgotten how many I've done. "15 seconds. And there we have it. Ooh. So, exercise 1, we looked at the full body with the star jumps. Exercise 2, have a think which muscles we've just used. That's it, the abdominals we've just worked. So, there we go. If you can get your pad or your document, write your score in. And we'll get that timer going for the rest. If you do need a drink, make sure you have a quick sip. keep yourself hydrated. So the next exercise is going to be, the standard will be squats. Try and keep your legs just slightly further than shoulder width apart and bring yourself nice and low. Or if you would like to extend it to do the challenge task, you can do jumping squats. So we're going to go down low and we'll jump, land, and we're going to go low again. So we'll pause that rest time. We'll move it on. We'll get the next timer going. Hopefully you're all ready to keep a score of how many you've done. We're going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Really go quite low into the squat and make sure you push off. This is probably going to be a little bit more of a controlled one so that you can really work the muscle. Won't necessarily get high, might not necessarily get a high score, but your health and your muscles are strengthening and toning. Last 10 seconds to come. There we go. We'll get our score in again. And we will take a pause on this timer. And we'll get the rest timer. Hard work. So, we've got 3 to go. Next exercise will be press ups. And again, is to get our arms just almost in line, maybe slightly wider than your shoulder width. You want to get your legs out straight and your hips tucked in, so you're almost like a flat straight line from your shoulders to your heels, the heels of your feet. If you would prefer to do a slightly easier than this extended standard press up, then you can lower the intensity slightly, although you will still work hard, so keep it going. But you can put your knees down, you can cross your ankles, and you're then going to work the elbow by bending, or work your arms, but by bending at the elbow to lower your body and to raise it back up. You don't want to move your hips. Again, you keep that tucked in, and that's where we will slightly need to use the core, but as well as that, we'll use our arms and our pectorals. So, slightly extended rest. I'm sure you'll be grateful for that rest, and so am I, but let's get ourselves back underway. So, exercise number 4. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Turn it side on. And you see the form. Keep it going, doing well. There we go. Hard one. Get your timer stopped. We'll put our score in. Now, one of the questions later on is going to ask you about the order that we've done the exercises in. Now don't worry, you've got them written down on your document, or you can obviously look back through the video. But if you think about, we've just worked our arms and our pectorals, a little bit of core for our press ups. We're now going to move on to some tuck jumps or some knees up. So we're going to work the legs. Just have a think, might help you with the question at the end about the order of the exercises that we're doing. So we'll get our time to go for the rest, slightly extended. Grab a drink of water if you need it, or so you're either doing knees up, where you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on, or you're going to do tuck jumps, where you're simply doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. I'm at that time. 2 exercises to go. We can do this. Come on. Okay. Ready. 3, 2, 1, and go. We're nearly halfway there. Whew. 15 seconds to go. Okay, really hard one there. Pause the timer again. Write down your score. And the final one will be our squat thrusts or mountain climbers. So squat thrusts will be hands shoulder width apart. Again, legs together, out, in, out, in. Similarly, with the mountain climbers, you need to put your hands down, alternate between one leg at a time. Every time you alternate, you can count that as 1. Now, the slightly more harder out of the 2 will be the squat thrusts, the 2 feet together, because you're working more muscles at once. So, we'll get the timer going for the rest. Have a quick sip of the drink. We know that we've got 1 to go, so you can motivate yourself by knowing there's not too much more to do before we get a big rest. It's all in the mind. Those dedicated sports people out there, if you're playing in teams and clubs, you know that you need to make sure that you dedicate, especially when it's hurting. Those of you that perhaps aren't in clubs but are wanting to aspire to improve fitness levels, again, it's all about focus the mind over matter, making sure that you keep working hard even when it gets tough. When it gets tough, it is your body telling yourself that you're actually improving the fitness. If it was easy and it didn't hurt and it didn't feel hard, then generally you're not pushing your body into the intensities that are actually going to develop that fitness level. Again, we've had a slightly longer rest, but nonetheless, we're still working hard. So squat thrusts or mountain climbers. And it's the last 1 minute before we get a nice long rest. Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, let's go. Remember, it's all focused in your mind. Nearly there. And this is the last one. Last 20 seconds. Last 8 seconds. Keep it going. Here we go. And then we know we've got that rest now. Big rest. For your scoring. Now, something we want to do immediately. We're going to rest, but we're also going to take our, what do we do at the end, everyone? Have a think. Those of you that thought and maybe said correctly, working heart rate, well done. We're going to do that right now. So, we're going to put the timer on. You either lie down flat, or stand up, or sit down. Find your pulse, wrist, neck, or on your chest there to get your working heart rate. It's been a good blowout so far. Okay, find that pulse. Make sure you've got it. We're going to start the timer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and start counting your heart rate. Keep counting. Last 5 seconds. And there it is. Remember that score, get that written down. And write the score down of our working heart rate. And that concludes the actual circuit itself, the first one that we was looking at there. Now, what I'd like you to choose to do, that was our core task. Our confident task will be to repeat a circuit again and challenge to repeat the same circuit we've just done 2 more times, so that'd be 3 in total. What I want you to think about, and it's one of the questions, I think it's the third and final question on the document, is if you were to adjust that circuit to do it again, apart from to cancel all the exercises and not have to do any, thinking about the rest times, the work times, maybe how hard you're working, what kind of things do you think you could do to either make that circuit slightly harder if you went to do it again, using the same exercises but making it slightly harder, or slightly easier? What kind of things could you do? I want you to pause the video now to have a go at that question, so you can have a little breather, maybe get a drink. So I'm going to ask you to pause that so you can then write the answer to the question. And hopefully you've paused it and we're back, and you can now have a little think about what you've written down. Now, some ways you might make that X circuit training a little bit easier could be you make the rest time slightly longer. Another way of doing that to make it slightly easier, you might make that working time slightly lower. So you might decide, I'm not going to do 1 minute of exercise, I'm going to do 30 seconds of exercise. or maybe I might do 45 seconds, but not quite 1 minute of exercise. That could make it easier. And again, if I have a longer rest after that, for each exercise, again, that makes it slightly easier. Hopefully the obvious now means that if I was to say how would you make it harder, it might be that, yes, you extend the work time, you reduce the rest time, you may even increase the intensity. I know that perhaps on the tuck jump exercise, I had a few gaps in there, I was struggling, maybe I need to work on that area. But if I wanted to do it harder, with more intensity, I might try and keep going faster for a longer period of time. So that would all come partly with training my body and getting used to it, but also through having a bit more intensity and desire when I'm actually doing that actual exercise. Okay, so I think you can now make that decision whether you want to repeat the circuit 1 more or 2 more times if you would like to do the confident or the challenge task, or if you're going to leave it there at core. Now, if you do repeat the circuit, you can then choose to adjust your exercise time or your rest time. That's up to you, or you might increase the intensity. All down to you and your individual bodies and fitness levels. If it was easy for you, what we've done so far, then my suggestion is that you do go and do the 2nd or the 3rd circuit to really improve that fitness level and that health to keep yourselves fit and healthy. Now, anybody with any requests for perhaps specific exercise muscles that you'd like to work on, or styles of circuit training or fitness training that you'd like to do in coming weeks, please put them on Padlet and we will do our best to try and incorporate that in the next one. Anyone with any shout outs or anything you'd like to get shouted out on the videos, please, you can also put that on Padlet and I'll do my best to shout out to all of you. But really big well done for all of you that have managed to complete this. I know that there's been quite a lot of people completing the PE booklets that we've been doing in the past, but now we're up to the videos. Hopefully we'll have all of you joining in and having some fun. Big well done. And as of course, please all look after yourselves, stay safe, and I hope to see you all soon. See you at the next PE task. Well done.